If you were at College Club Nationals, you probably knew beforehand that the meet was going to be fast. But just how fast of a meet was it going to be? That's the other question. Maybe you thought like, hell yeah, some A finalists are going to be fast. There's probably going to be some. Cal Poly obviously is going to crush this meet because well they're a bunch of D1 swimmers. But then there's also this dark horse called UNC Chapel Hill, and let me take you on something that. Sorry, Kyle Sockwell, I'm going to plagiarize you, but let's call this the Swim Cloud Tour of College Club Nats 2026 edition. I'm going. So, if you were at that meet on day one, you had the 800 free relay. Probably not the most interesting because most of the fast swims were in finals, and yeah, 800 free relay is not really a fun race to watch just because it's the free relay. And who the hell wants to watch people swim back and forth for 6 7 minutes if you're fast, or 8 plus if you're the women's team. But let's start with the 100 back, and this is where things get interesting. So backstroke, I will say traditionally tends to be like the most chill in terms of Nats call times or making finals. And in previous years, you only needed a 53 low, which I will say even compared to like Fly's 51 low is probably more lax at that level. Back in 24th place before was like 53 low, and then last year was a 52 high. But in this year, if you were on a deck at that time, you probably saw a bunch of 51s just spewing out everywhere. And you knew that things were going to be fast. But how fast? Well, you needed a 51 4 just to make finals. Before, that would have gotten you at least close to the A final. But this year, it's only going to get you a spot in the finals. And then we get this guy. Like what the hell? Like 46 what? 46 1, which is already insane if you're a freestyler. If you do a 46 1 in swimming backstroke from like an in water start, like that will blow your mind. Just blows my mind. And then we have Josh Pack on our team, who literally went like Kevin 2 years ago made a final with something slower than this, and now you're telling me a mid 50 point is a B final time? Like, what is happening again with this thing called college club swimming? And yeah, someone even in the B final is going under 50 seconds, which nobody did at all last year at Nats. I think a couple people did 2024, but yeah, you know where this is going on. Walker Davis goes an even faster time with a 45.8. If you're like, it just blows that your mind because back then, I think the fastest time before was a 48, and it just all of a sudden the record goes from 48 something to a 45.8. Tell me what's going on. And yeah, 100 backstroke kind of just starts everything, and then 100 breaststroke. This is probably gonna go on a similar field. You have 56 low just to make a final, which and our guy named John Cena in 2024 won with a 55 high. That time would place him sixth, maybe seventh. Get the trend, but yeah, it literally would place him like at the bottom of a final. And same thing goes with Joaquin. Like those two guys who were medalists back then are now like probably gonna be fighting for their lives just to get into the A final. Like and just like that, three people just wipe the record 54. Like no one goes 54 before, and then just three people for a while, and then three people just go 53. Which by the way is insane because my 100 fly is 53. And then let's go on to the 50. And then so maybe breaststroke is this, backstroke is pretty insane. Breaststroke is also insane, but no one's gonna prepare you what it's like for 53. Obviously, everybody knows that when it comes to guys 53, it's gonna be insane. because yeah, some of those guys are just super jacked. They might not even have good technique, and they somehow throw 20 points. Yeah, is life fair? No, it's not fair. Yeah, but sometimes life is just like that. It's never fair. Back then, like the 53 was already insane because well, the cut is already pretty fast. It's 22 low, and yet you still have 28 heats of people making the 53 and probably more, which is like someone tell me how this happens again. But yeah, we have a 53. And before, like, if you went 20 point, you were pretty much going to make B final. And this year, there's 32, there's more than four heats. More than four heats of people going under 21. You need a 20.9 just to make a final. I mean, just to get in a swim off. To get in a swim off. And then And then towards the end, you could probably hear like a huge like gasp or roar or whatever kind of thing because of how insane it is. Four people like just look at this. Four people under 20. Four people at a college club meet going under 20. Imagine if you're fourth place and by the way, this guy goes the same exact time. He also goes in 1999 and gets fourth. So imagine imagine going to 1999 and being left off the podium when before the winners were always going 20 point or well 2023 someone did but like before pretty much every single meet before if you went under 20 you were going to win by a pretty long shot and now you're telling me you don't even get a medal for going to 1999 like someone explain again what's going on. And then and obviously Walker Davis. This guy goes in 1928, and I think he went 19-0 at on like a relay leadoff. So that is just absolutely insane to say the least. Like someone, I think people are starting to lose the sense of what college club swimming exactly is, because of how absolutely ridiculous it is to make it in and make like C final. Not to say that I could probably make it, but yeah, yeah. You probably and you probably get the gist by now. Just a bunch of insane people. Like I could go on and on about this. In the medley relay, you got Walker Davis who goes a slightly faster time because well, I guess being in a relay makes you go faster. I get supposedly, and I could go on and on and on. He goes on. In a 50 backstroke, you're gonna see this guy go 20 point when no one else has even gone at 21, and he just suddenly destroys the record by a second and a half. You got the 100 fly where you need to go under 50 just to make a B final. Someone tell me why that is a thing. Why do we need to go under 50 seconds just to make a B final? Yeah. You need a 50.42 just to make a C final. And so how many people? How like someone like how are there multiple heats of people going under 50 seconds on something that's not even freestyle? Like this starts making me wonder. Like again, what are we doing in today's world? And then we have Josh. We have our swimmer again. Josh, shout out to you. You did absolutely great. This guy goes a 50.0 2 years ago, and he makes the A final. And then this year you go under 50 seconds, but you get rewarded with a B final. Yeah, someone again. I could go on and on and on, but you're probably like if I did the entire thing, it's not gonna be the most fun. But we could just handpick certain things like 200 freestyle relay. Two teams are going under 120, and yes, the girls also swam insane, but I think every single gaze, every single all the attention was focused on an A final heat for guys, just because of how absolutely insane things were. Like, I think if you were like an attendee at that meet, you probably like every time an A final came up, you knew like a record was gonna be broken by one or more people, and sometimes by like a huge margin, as you can kind of see in this 200 freestyle relay, UNC and Cal Poly. And then obviously we all knew who was gonna win, and they won, and that was Cal Poly. Although UNC, although I think wait, yeah, UNC still came up second just because of they had those like people with Olympic trial sweaters and jackets, and then for the women like UVA usually wins, but Cal Poly just had all the D1 swimmers, so no doubt they were gonna win. And then on the combined stage, UNC still came up, and then you got UVA, and then you got Georgia Tech, and yeah. So I guess like the future of college club mats is it's just gonna probably get more and more insane. Maybe I can make a video on what I predict the cuts are gonna be because yeah, there's a lot of debate in today's world just about what the future of college club swimming is really supposed to mean for everyone, I'll say. And but anyways, enough talk about college club swimming. Now we're gonna kind of talk about how things have been going on. So I graduated college and we're working, but I would say work definitely feels different because like if you just because after some time you just kind of settle in that pattern, and then sometimes you start wondering like why am I living, and I don't know. It's been weird just because we're away, and I don't and it's like you don't really know what's gonna happen next in your life because because anytime I could be moving like thousands of miles away. Who even knows what's gonna happen? And there's a lot of things that happen once you graduate from college because kind of realize that people really do go on in different directions. Like they say that for high school, but it's even more true now because like people are because most people I knew would just end up going to like some school in California and we meet back during what was it during breaks. But like there's also no such thing as really a break anymore. So yeah. But anyways, just a little spiel. Maybe I am getting a little nostalgic about my time back in CCS, and I don't know. And unfortunately, the time is probably over for me. But yeah, perhaps yeah. I will say swim club. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for all the time and the growth that you've given me. It was great to be great for all those 4 years. But now, who knows what's next?